showing you how to make these tea candle roses. They're pretty straightforward. Obviously you're going to need some Tealight cases. You're going to need some wire, a hot glue gun, some spray paint, and a pair of pliers to manipulate the wire. That's pretty much all you're going to need. What I love about making my own roses is they're great to add to assemblages. So for example, here's one that I've started to put together, and here's another example of them on an artwork, and they look really awesome. I think they look unique, and you can say that you made them yourself rather than, you know, you can buy. I know you can buy. I don't know about metal ones, but you can buy little miniature roses from the craft store. But I like the idea of making my own. Also, you can make them in different sizes. So these ones are actually a lot larger, as you can see. And what I've done to make those is gone to the hardware store and bought a roll of like aluminium that's very flexible, and then just obviously cut larger circles, and then just made them, and they look great as well. So you can actually have them on larger assemblages. So this piece that I'm working on now, I'm going to be putting some of the large ones around it, and then quite a few of the small ones. All right, so let's get into the tutorial. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the tea candle and I'm cutting out the base of it, just like that. And then what I'm doing is I'm using the back of the scissors and I'm flattening down the metal so it's all flat and smooth, and I'm doing the same with the side of it as well. Just helps keep everything flat. And then I'm taking a little piece of metal and I'm rolling the edge of the tea candle around it. And I guess it takes a little bit of practice to get it right. And the other thing is, not every rose will look completely different. You won't ever reproduce the same rose every time, and you know, that's what's great about it. So each rose has its own character. So I kind of just manipulate it until it sort of looks like the center of a rose, the bud, and then I sort of crimp the bottom like that, and then I'll cut off the edges just to make it taper in at the bottom a little bit more. Just always using my hands to manipulate it. So now I kind of cut like a half moon shape out of the base, like so. And then what I'll do is I'll crimp the edges, sort of in the shape of a rose petal. And I just use my thumb in the middle to sort of get the basic shape. And then you just basically curve it around, wrap it around, I should say, the bud like so, and repeat the same with the other piece, pushing your thumb in the middle of it so you kind of get the shape of the bud, and then once again on the opposite side you just curl it around as well. And you just have to play around with it and manipulate it till you get the right shape. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking some metal which will form the stem of the rose, and I'm just winding it up and creating sort of an area where the wire can be attached to the petal of the rosebud, like so. So then you just pull the bottom petal off the rose, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hot glue gun and I'm going to put the stem in the base. And you got to do this quite quickly because obviously the glue will dry fairly rapidly. It does take a bit of playing around with it to get it right, but the more you do, the better at it you become. So, and yeah, look, it's a little bit fiddly, but yeah, you just practice makes perfect, and you just play around with it. So just put some glue in there to seal it in there, and just manipulate it around And that's a good thing with that sort of metal. It's just easy to manipulate, so you can't really stuff them up. That's just to give you a look about what it looks like. So if you like, you can stop there, or you can add one more layer of petals. And what I do for that is I kind of cut out a spiral shape with one of the bases, and sort of wind it around like this. Now this can be a little bit tricky, but it's up to you whether you do it. Most of mine I don't do it, but I just wanted to show you that you can actually add more to your rose if you want to, and it'll just make it larger and give it more volume, and then it's just a matter of just gluing it together. Like so. Now what I do is I'm going to spray paint them. So I spray the yellow spray paint first, and I go around from all sides. Good to do this outside, and make sure it's well ventilated because of the fumes from spray paint. And then I come over with the red, go from all sides, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. Hey, well, I hope you liked that video tutorial and you got something out of it. Please share, like and subscribe, and always open to suggestions about what you'd like me to demo next. And as always, I love your feedback on the video. And anyway, hope you're having a great week / end, whatever you're up to. And I'll be talking to you real soon. Later.